What's going on, everybody? Welcome to Drose and Kevin's back-to-back 7-round, 4-hour mock draft mega spectacular. Just kidding. We're just doing a first-round mock draft. I'm sorry if you got really happy about that.
If you did, you're a weirdo, honestly.
All right, so me and Kevin, we got heavily invested into NFL mock drafts over this off season, and I don't know what overcame me, man. Like sometimes I think I'm like mock drafts make me horny.
Okay. I mean, I get what you're saying. I mean, whatever floats your boat. Yeah, but I did get really into mock drafts. I was telling you earlier, I did a mock draft for the Eagles where I just did trade backs the entire time. If that doesn't show you how bored, it was 7 rounds, and I ended up with like 50 picks in the next year.
That's peak boredom
players,
right there.
No players drafted. I actually had to draft for my very last pick because no one would trade with me. But like that's just peak boredom. Like I drafted so much on that fucking app that I was like, there's nothing else I can do. Let me just trade back every time.
Mm-hmm. You feel like you know exactly what players are going to be booms and exactly what players are going to be busts by now, don't you?
Yeah, but it's crazy because everybody does these mock drafts and they're never right, and none of the players that they talk about, they're going to be spectacular. All like, look at this, like he's a can't miss prospect. Half of them end up being busts.
Yeah, I think most of them end up being busts.
Yeah,
but that's for me and you to decide right now.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm happy we finally are getting to do this live on camera for everybody to see.
Yep.
This is our only not live, but mock draft on camera for everybody to see.
Yeah. And then we'll be holding Thursday we'll be holding a draft special live, 8 p.m.
We can't wait for you to be there. Bring some wings.
Ooh, that's such a good idea.
And some purple Doritos.
But right now we're going to do, so Drose as a Giants fan, they hold the 11th pick, so he'll do all the odd picks. And then as an Eagles fan with the 12th pick, I will do all the evens picks.
Only fair way to do it.
Yep.
So with the first overall selection, the Jacksonville Jaguars will select Kyle Pitts. Just kidding. They will select Trevor Lawrence, obviously. Nothing really much to talk about here. Everybody knows he's the next fucking GOAT, yada, 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 everything like that. Yep. I just think I'm going to miss watching him in a Clemson uniform in that orange and purple. And I can't wait to watch and see what he does in the league. Hopefully he becomes the next Tom Brady. You have the second overall selection.
Yep.
Who do you think the Jets are going to pick?
The New York Jets will take, with the second pick, Zach Wilson out of BYU. They need a quarterback. They trade away Sam Darnold, so it's evident. And everyone's got Zach Wilson going too. Jets love him. He loves New York, as he stated in an interview. So I think that those 2 first picks are concrete.
Yeah, everybody knows that shit's going to happen. So I think the third overall selection is the real first overall pick in this year's draft. And there's been a whole lot of debate over these last couple of weeks since this trade happened. And I firmly believe that through all the smokescreen like messages and signals that the 49ers have been sending out and everything like that, I truly believe that they will be taking Trey Lance third overall in the 2021 NFL Draft.
Wow. Now, that's not a popular belief. Everyone believes Mac Jones, including myself, but elaborate.
I really don't see how you trade up that far up to third overall to draft a guy that was not even going to be drafted at that position. That's like he was not even like being talked about going in the top 15.
Yeah.
Until they did that.
I just think, first off, Kyle Shanahan really likes him, which I think is like I don't personally believe he should go 3, but I think he will. But another thing, I think as Mac Jones started rising up people's leaderboards, like in terms of his abilities, and I think the 49ers got spooked, made a trade to get the 3 so no one else could take him because they knew who was going 1 and 2. But who knows? I mean, maybe they're just blowing smoke and trying to throw everybody off. But I understand your
They
pick.
could take Fields for all we know.
Yeah,
They really
which
could.
I think fits their offense best because that like they're running the ball a lot of play action.
Hmm. But Trey Lance is really just as good at running the ball.
Yeah, Trey Lance is.
When
really
you
good.
go and look back at his 2019 season, he had over 1,000 rushing yards.
Yeah,
That is not to be overlooked.
it's just hard to tell with teams like North Dakota State.
I mean, Carson Wentz came from there.
And I mean, roller coaster career.
MVP.
Possibly.
MVP caliber player at one point.
True.
Who you got going for to the fucking Falcons?
So the
Sorry,
Atlanta
it was a bird.
Falcons, I don't know if they're going to trade down from this pick, but if they don't, it's a hard pick. But Julio Jones is about 32, and if they trade him after June 1st, they save $15 million in cap. So I think that's going to happen. Calvin Ridley will move up to the one receiver, and then they won't be drafting a receiver. They'll be drafting Kyle Pitts out of Florida to fill in that role of a second pass catcher, and he'll be playing tight end, which is one of their needs.
They got Hayden Hurst, bro. He's good.
Yeah, but he's not Kyle Pitts.
Yeah.
I think Kyle Pitts is my third best prospect in the draft after Jamar Chase. But I think that's who the Falcons are going to take.
Yeah, I mean, I like the selection. If you're gonna trade Julio and get something for that, because they will, then you might as well get the player most dominant like Julio.
Yeah.
I know Kyle Pitts is a tight end, but when he plays wide receiver and I see him out there, he just reminds me of Julio. He's just the biggest, strongest, most dominant person out on the field whenever he's there.
No draft ever has had 4 quarterbacks drafted in a row. Only 3 drafted in a row in the first 3 picks, which was the 1971 and 1997 draft. So if there was 4 quarterbacks taken off the board the first 4 picks, that'd be pretty groundbreaking. But I just don't see it happening.
All right, so I have the 5th overall selection. It is the Cincinnati Bengals. My boy Joe Burrow, the fucking GOAT there. Are you going to get him another weapon, or are you going to protect his ass? And in this situation, you get him the fucking weapon. Jamar Chase. I know what everybody is thinking. Oh, you got to protect him. You got to protect him. Well, me being a ginormous LSU football fan, I was there and watched almost every single game of that 2019 season, and there aren't too many better duos, combinations, just straight up connections better than fucking Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase. They are champions together.
Mm-hmm.
They'll do the opposite of what the Packers do with Aaron Rodgers. They'll actually make their moves that their quarterback wants.
Yeah.
And it'll make them happy, and then it'll probably make them play better. Yes, they do miss out on Penei Sewell, but in the end, he is kind of a raw prospect when you come and look down at it. He does have some things to work on, even though he's an absolute beast, and he will be one of the best offensive linemen in the NFL in a couple of years.
Yeah.
But it's not like they don't need a wide receiver. Yes, Tyler Boyd is very good. Yes, T. Higgins is a rising star. But what's 3? You need 3. You need 3.
I can see that.
Especially when you go back and look at how much they were slinging the ball.
Yeah.
Before Joe got hurt.
Yeah. Their offense would be really dominant if they got Jamar Chase. So with the 6th pick, the Miami Dolphins, big needs are a receiver and offensive tackle. But with Chase off the board, I still don't have them going tackle because they still have the 18th pick. So I got them drafting Jalen Waddle out of Alabama.
He's a freak, man. He is an absolute freak.
Yeah. He was hurt a lot this year, but and Devontae Smith had that Heisman year, but still Jalen Waddle's just explosive.
I remember before last season, Desmond Howard he said before the football season he thought Jalen Waddle was going to end up winning the Heisman, but it was really Devonta Smith, which I think is awesome. He was just wrong about what Alabama wide receiver it was.
Which is
But
crazy.
I've been watching Jalen Waddle for years, and then it's just like every time he gets the ball, you just mumble "fuck," like to yourself.
Great
like,
player in space.
Great player in space. I think he could easily end up being the next Tyreek Hill, maybe even better.
So who do you got going 7 to the
7 to the Lions. I have the Lions taking the Heisman Trophy winner, Devonta Smith.
Wow.
Yeah.
So you're saying 3 wide receivers off the board in a row. You're going to say 3 quarterbacks and 3 wide receivers.
Yeah.
That's nuts.
In this situation, I think it's 100% plausible.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, when you really go and look at it, yeah, maybe they could take Penei Sewell, that's on the board, or Rashawn Slater. But when you have somebody like Kenny Galladay and Marvin Jones leaving, I can't name one wide receiver left on their team.
Yeah,
so they need a wide receiver.
And they got Goff, so I mean they're not looking very good at the quarterback position. With the 8th pick, the Carolina Panthers will select Justin Fields. Justin Fields drops all the way to 8.
Shit.
I got Carolina taking Fields. You know, they got Sam Darnold on 1-year contract, but Fields, he's starting to fall down a lot of people's draft boards, but I still believe in him. Played at a Big Ten school, had a very good career.
Great player.
He didn't have the best senior campaign, but I think he's still...
Just go back and watch his highlights against Clemson.
Exactly.
Watch how much he got fucking mollywopped during that game, dude.
He's very
And
athletic.
he still put up almost 400 yards passing and 6 touchdowns against them.
Yeah, something like that. Crazy.
Something crazy. I believe that the Broncos will select... This is a tough one. I believe they select Patrick Surtain II. Best player on the board.
What the fuck is he?
I think that the Broncos feel that they're in a position that they can probably take the best player on the board just because that they do have a lot of good talent on their team. Maybe they could have picked a quarterback with Mac Jones still being there, but I just don't see it. I think maybe they give Drew Lock one more year, just like the Giants are giving Daniel Jones another year.
Mm-hmm. You think Patrick Surtain?
Yeah, I do.
Fuck you. You ruined my whole draft.
Did I ruin your whole draft?
Yeah, because I had like it planned out, and now it's like, oh, fuck. But I guess this is what GMs do. So
Yeah,
fuck
it
it.
is. Fuck it.
So that leads me into my next pick, the Dallas Cowboys. Boo!
Boo! Fuck the Cowboys.
But I had them taking him actually above what's the fucking name? Patrick Surtain, but you took him anyway. So I got them taking J.C. Horn out of South Carolina. Very athletic. Needs to work on his tools a little bit. I mean, I can't talk shit. I mean, I'm not him. But he's very athletic, and I think he's a go-getter. Their defense was awful last year. They need help on defense, so I see them drafting him, plugging him in, cornerback 1 next year.
Oh, my God. Pick number 11. The New York Football Giants. Look who fell down to them. They have their 2 choices of offensive linemen, whatever the fuck they want to protect Saquon's ass. Either Penei Sewell or Rashawn Slater. And in this situation, you gotta take Penei Sewell. That would be fucking huge for the Giants. Fucking huge.
I don't see him falling that far, but if that happens, that's great, honestly.
Well, this isn't a mock draft. This is actually is what is going to happen. We're just telling everybody early.
Yeah, we have the inside scoop.
Yeah.
You know, they record the draft like 4 days before, so like they already know.
We were at the special screening for it.
Yeah, I know Roger Goodell. He's my uncle. My gay uncle. Everyone's got one. So with the 12th pick, the best team in the NFL, the Philadelphia Eagles. They got some holes to fill at receiver, cornerback, but with Rashawn Slater sliding, he's a plug and play player on the offensive line. They'll take him. They might not play him this year. Maybe he'll start over Isaac Somalu, but you give him a year to grow. Jason Kelsey might retire. Brandon Brooks, who knows what's going to happen. All the Eagles' offensive line's pretty old and injury battling, so I could see it happen.
I love that selection, bro. That was a great choice.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Harry Roseman, fuck you.
The Los Angeles Chargers are going to select Christian Darrisaw.
So, I just want to point this out. We have, this draft goes 3 quarterbacks, tight end,
And
basically a receiver.
Wide receiver,
3 wide receivers,
wide receiver.
quarterback, 2 cornerbacks, and then 3 offensive tackles.
It's plausible.
It's possible.
It's definitely possible, and it's going to happen.
Yeah, we'll speak to his existence. We'll manifest it.
Everybody's going to be like, fuck, I wanted that guy. Shit, I got to go with the second person I rated for them, and that's what's going to happen.
Yeah. We're not doing trades, by the way. It's too hard to do all that extra shit. But if trades happen, it'll kind of fuck this up. But this is just no trade one, so just work with us.
Yeah, just take it easy, bro.
Yeah, relax, bro.
Who you got the Vikings taking?
The Vikings. Vikings need offensive line. They need some edge help. So I got them taking Jalen Phillips from Miami.
Interesting.
I like him a lot.
Very interesting player.
He lacks bulk and is easily controlled at the point by a single blocker. I'm just copying this off. But no, I really like him.
That sounded really good.
But he stepped up this season because Gregory Rousseau was out. I think he's got some raw talent. He's going to be really good. And I honestly like him the best, not just because I'm a fan of the U, but because I think he's going to be the best player. And that shit happens in the draft where someone goes before they're expected. So
Jalen Phillips. He is one concussion away from never playing football ever again.
Everybody is.
You think?
Yeah, everybody in the NFL's got CTE.
It's that bad that it's like a medical red flag to him.
Whatever. Fuck it.
I mean, in my opinion, if he didn't have that shit going on with his medical, with his head,
yeah,
he'd be going top 10.
Good
The
guy.
Patriots get motherfucking Mac Jones.
Okay. If he falls to 15, I don't think there's a doubt about it that he'll go to the Patriots. And I don't see them trading up on draft day just because I don't think that's a Bill Belichick move.
Yeah, it really, I mean, as much of a great coach as Bill Belichick has been his entire career, he has known to have not been a great drafter besides drafting Tom Brady in the 7th round.
Yeah.
If he falls there, they're definitely going to snatch him up. I mean, I know they re-signed Cam, but, didn't look too good last year. But maybe a revamped offense and a revamped team will really help Cam. I don't know, because I would love to give Cam another shot with a new revamped team with a lot more weapons than it had last year. Maybe draft him a weapon now. But I just feel like Bill Belichick is going to see Mac Jones like the national champion, the fucking do it all quarterback, and he's just gonna have to take it.
Yeah.
He's gonna have to take it no matter what.
Yep.
You got the Cardinals pick.
With the Cardinals pick, I think they're gonna take they lost Patrick Peterson this year to the Vikings, and now they go to fill in that spot. They draft Greg Newsome III from
very underrated player in my opinion.
From Northwestern. Caleb Farley was very high on everyone's draft boards before he had that issue with his back. He had the back surgery. So I think they take next best thing in Greg Newsome. They got to plug in that spot on defense. They got a lot of players this offseason, and I think that's a very high on their needs list.
Good selection, man.
Thank you.
There's really not much I could say about that. I think that's what I would have went.
Yeah.
So now I'm with the Raiders now. This is a very interesting selection because they need a linebacker, but they also need a safety. And Michael Parsons is fucking Michael Parsons.
Yeah.
Everybody knows what he's capable of. But JOK, Jeremiah Owusu Karamaya, I have no idea if I said that correctly, but I just call him JOK. I've watched his tape before. He's a fucking monster. He could cover like a safety, and he could play like a middle linebacker. He could get down and dirty, and he's a run stopper like a middle linebacker.
Notre Dame, baby. I'm actually not a Notre Dame fan. And this is for Jeremiah Yubba Jubba Lubba from Notre Dame. Woo!
Thank you.
I was hoping I would get to pick him, but whatever.
Sorry.
Don't.
Yeah, I think JOK is definitely the pick for the Raiders.
Yeah, they got Mike Mayock
Go
in
Irish.
that front office. He makes some interesting draft picks. Last year, I think he picked Clint Farrell from. No one was expecting to pick him in the
Yeah, that
top
was a
10.
couple years ago, and I still think it was a horrible pick. There was other players to be selected.
But he got the one white defensive end, Max Crosby, right?
Yeah.
And he's pretty good. And that wasn't their. But yeah, that I can see that happening. So the Dolphins with the 18th pick, they got Jalen Waddle with the 6th pick.
Huge weapon. You honestly don't know?
I can see them drafting Najee Harris, getting like a running back, but I just fucking hate that. Because they don't need a linebacker.
Kevin is the biggest hater of taking a running back in the first round.
Never pans out.
I think if they're good enough, you could take them wherever the fuck you want.
It depends. Late first round, like your Super Bowl winning team, yeah, you take that. Like look at the Chiefs last year. They took Clyde's Edward-Helaire. Good pick. But like anything in the top 20. But this isn't what I think. This is what I think the Dolphins will do, and I think they will take Najee Harris, build up their offense with Tua. Him and Tua are actually very good friends, so I can see that meshing together. Get an offensive Waddle, Tua, and Najee Harris. Will Fuller there too. It's a pretty dynamic offense. We all know what runs the NFL now is a good offense.
Building on to that, I believe the Washington football team will select wide receiver Rashad Bateman.
Elaborate.
I think they have a very, very scary duo in Scary Terry and Curtis Samuel. Why not throw in Rashad Bateman?
Yep.
For Ryan Fitzpatrick to just be
Right.
big dick slinging around with, having fun. He don't give a fuck.
Nah.
It's not like he's playing for his legacy anymore, or like trying to play for like another contract. He's probably done after this year.
100%.
I mean, I feel like we've thought that about him the last like 10 years, but this motherfucker just keeps on coming back with that beard bigger and bigger. I think that could easily end up being one of the best wide receiving cores in the league if they do that.
even with
It'll
Curtis
open
Samuel.
up. It'll open up Terry McLaurin a lot.
With the 20th pick, Chicago Bears draft Samuel Cosmi, offensive tackle out of Texas. I can see them drafting up or trading up, getting a quarterback, but since it's a no trade scenario, they need help on their offensive line to protect Andy Dalton, whatever, Nick Foles, whatever that team ends up doing. They're a train wreck in my opinion, but yeah, he's a pretty good prospect out of Texas. He looks good. He's not Penei Sewell. He's not Rashawn Slater. He's not even Christian Darrisaw, but he's the next best thing after that. And you got to take what comes to you. He might turn out to be the best offensive tackle in this draft. You never know, but that's one of their needs, and that's what they got to plug.
I was debating on him and the player that I'm about to choose for this next pick.
Yep.
I think when you're bringing in Carson Wentz, you gotta get him protected, and you already have the best offensive lineman in the league with Quentin Nelson right there, and with Anthony Costanzo retiring at the end of the year, their left tackle. They need a left tackle very badly. Not very badly, but it's a need for them.
Yeah.
And I believe that they will select Tevin Jenkins fucking mammoth school bus of a human being to be their new left tackle. Next to Big Q.
How big is he? Do you know?
I gotta look this up, dude. He's only 6'6", but I'm telling you, this motherfucker looks way, way bigger than what
That's a
you
lot
think
bigger
he
than
is.
me.
Yeah, he's a gargantuan human being, and he also plays like a gargantuan human being. He's a fucking monster.
With the 22nd overall pick, Tennessee Titans select none other than Mike Parsons,
Oh,
Penn
shit.
State.
I love it, man.
Finally going off the board. I can't believe it fell this far. Great
It
pick
could
for
happen,
the Titans.
man.
Yeah, great pick for. He opted out this year, so you never know what he's like.
Red
now.
flag!
Exactly. He's a freak athletically. Great linebacker, great instincts, and the Titans' defense was pretty bad last year, so he's the best player. They get the best defensive player left in the draft with Micah Parsons.
Now, for the Jets' second selection in the first round, they already drafted Zach Wilson. Why not get, in my opinion, the best weapon available in the draft right now? Who's left? Travis Etienne. He's better than Najee Harris. He's the next Alvin Kamara. When you go back and watch his tape from Clemson, dude, it's just it's honestly like not even safe to compare him to Alvin Kamara because like I think just Travis Etienne plays his own game. Like he is incredible to watch. He's one of my favorite players to watch, and he's been one of my favorite players to watch for the last 2 or 3 years. And I think they obviously need a running back.
Yep.
They do need a motherfucking running back.
Yeah, they don't.
Why
have
not?
anybody. You know, Le'Veon Bell didn't pan out. That was an awful signing. But
Is he even on a team right now?
he's on the Chiefs, maybe.
Still?
Couldn't tell you. Oh wait, hold on. I'm getting a call. Hello. Yes. Okay, Mel. All right, thank you. All right, I just got some news. Mel Kiper just called me. What a shock, because I'm one of the top guys in the industry.
What'd that tiger-looking motherfucker say?
He said that there's news that if Elijah Vera Tucker falls to the Steelers, they're going to take him with the 24th pick. So that's who I got. So Elijah Vera Tucker out of USC, offensive guard, need for the Steelers, and they produce linemen like no other. Their line has always been great. Wasn't the best last year, but they still got people like, was it Andre Villanova? I can't really
Nah,
say.
he left as well, man. They're deep. And I forget, Mike Pouncey. Marquise Pouncey retired as well.
Yeah, so they need help on that offensive line, and he's the best offensive lineman left. And he's actually, I got him like third or fourth best offensive lineman.
He's very good.
Yeah.
He's a mauler, dude. He plays dirty. He actually he's played. I'm fairly positive he's played all three positions at one point on the offensive line at college.
Yeah, very versatile.
He's very versatile. I think he'll be a great starter in the year in the league for years to come. The Jacksonville Jaguars. They already took fucking Trevor Lawrence.
Shocker.
So, I think they go and take the best safety available in the draft, Trayvon Moehrig. Not much else to say about this guy. Straight up beast. You don't throw anywhere near him. He ran the Big 12, a straight offensive league. He held his own there. He also won the Dick Butkus Award, the best DB in
Best linebacker.
No. That's not the Dick Butkus. Fuck. I forget what the best the Jim Thorpe Award.
Okay.
The best DB in college football. He won that last year over the likes of Surtain
and
J.C. Horn.
Yeah, he
and even Caleb Farley.
I've seen him.
Caleb Farley didn't play
I've
last
seen
year.
him on like 15, 12 on people's top prospects list.
He's a very good player.
Yeah,
in my opinion.
He's best safety in the draft. PFN's got him rated like around 25, but I can see him. Teams with that need help at safety, 100% will draft him.
I really don't understand it. I feel like in the past years, like unless you're like a crazy prospect, like safeties drop.
Yeah.
Like for some reason, Xavier McKinney dropped out of the second round last year to the Giants. I'm still ecstatic as hell about that, but it's kind of weird that he got there to begin with when you look at his college career because he was an absolute beast.
With the 26th pick, Cleveland Browns select Christian Barmore out of Alabama, defensive tackle. Now, they just got
D-line,
yeah.
dude.
Now they got Myles Garrett, arguably the best defensive end in football. They got Jadeveon Clowney, a little washed up, but he's a good run stopper.
Yeah, great run stopper.
And then you plug in Christian Barmore in there.
He'll take a couple years to adjust into the NFL, but I mean, like when you go back and watch his tape in the national championship game, he was the most dominant person on defense.
Yeah,
the most dominant person on the defensive side of the ball that game. Pretty sure he won MVP of the defensive MVP of the national championship.
Yeah, he's Alabama just produces freaks, and I think he's one of them. I think if they're able to get him, that defensive line, because it starts up front, that defensive line will be a problem for a lot of teams. Who do you got the Ravens taking at 27?
At 27, I have the Ravens taking edge rusher from Texas, Joseph Osei.
Mm-hmm.
He is an absolute freak of nature. Do you know what he ran in the 40-yard draft?
I do know.
40-yard dash? This motherfucker ran a 4.4 40. He's an edge rusher,
what?
dude. He ran a 4.4 40.
That's nuts.
And the craziest thing is Jason Owe from Penn State ran a 4.39. 0.1 second fast.
That's crazy, but at the same time, what does a DN rusher? I understand speed, but like at the 10-yard split is what you should be most worried about for a DN rusher. Not even.
But still.
But that's crazy. Still insane. Just shows how much of a freak of nature he is.
So now my thing with this pick with the Ravens is most people would say you got to get Lamar a wide receiver, but with Rashad Bateman already being taken, I feel like if he's there, they got to take him just because he's going to be a legit number one receiver.
And they have a pick at 31. So.
Yeah, and I think like people think they might take like Elijah Moore at that position, like take them a little early, but Elijah Moore is a slot wide receiver. They got slot wide receivers out the dick already.
Yeah.
Like, they don't need another Hollywood Brown.
Exactly. And
they need somebody who they could just throw it big too deep. And I know he's not going to be taken in the first round, but I hope to see them take somebody like Nico Collins or Seth Williams from Auburn.
Yeah.
Just big, strong wide receivers that just go for the ball and get it.
All right, with the 28th pick, the Stinky Saints.
The Stinky Saints.
I don't like the Saints. I hate Sean Payton. But whatever. Fucking douchebag. He'll take probably Caleb Farley out of Virginia Tech. Put him alongside Marshawn Lattimore.
That's a Saints-ass move right there.
Yeah, getting that
Them
guy.
just getting lucky as hell.
That Caleb Farley fell, and then he turns out to be the best cornerback.
Yeah, no, I mean, just because he had one back procedure means that he drops from being a top 8 overall selection to being a bottom 20 in the first round.
It happens a lot in the draft, but it's
all
like
that.
Sidney Jones, like for example, one of the top-rated cornerbacks in the draft until he got hurt. And then the Eagles get him, and he turns out to be a bum. So, I mean, you never know with players like that. But, yeah, I see they need help at cornerback. The only person they really got is Marshawn Lattimore. And with that pickup, I can see them thriving with him if they get him to rehab and get back to full health.
With the next pick, I've done a lot of thinking about this one because they really can't do no wrong with this pick. Like, the Packers are the fucking Packers. They'll always be good as long as Aaron Rodgers is their quarterback.
Yeah.
Last year, they did the only thing possible to piss Aaron Rodgers off, and that was to pick another fucking quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
Guess what he did the year after?
Took him to the NFC Championship.
and
1 MVP.
thank you. They're going to give him whatever the fuck he wants.
No.
And I feel like he wants a weapon.
Nope.
Another one.
Nope.
You don't think he wants a weapon?
I don't think they draft him. They don't give a fuck about Aaron Rodgers, honestly.
Oh, you don't think they give a fuck about Aaron Rodgers?
No.
Because I have them taking Zaven Collins because they do fucking hate Aaron Rodgers.
Oh, dude, I had them taking. Yeah, so I was actually just reading
They
this.
do fucking hate Aaron Rodgers, dude. I don't know why they do.
2012 to 2019, the Green Bay Packers only selected defensive players in the draft. The only time they didn't was 2020 when they got Jordan Love. Nobody knows why to this day they did that, but I don't see them taking an offensive guy.
Me either. I mean, I do definitely feel like wide receiver could be a need for them, but in the grand scheme of things, Aaron Rodgers makes any wide receiver he wants good.
All right.
Like Marquez Valdez-Scantling, who the fuck is he? He's a G now.
With the 30th pick, the Bills will probably take Azeez Ojulari, edge rusher out of Georgia. He's one of the top-rated edge rushers in this draft class, and he fell all the way to the Bills at 30, and they need help on their D-line, so they'll take him there.
With the 31st pick in the 2021 NFL Draft, the Baltimore Ravens select Terence Marshall Jr. from LSU University. Everybody really only knew him because of the national championship season. They looked at him as like Justin Jefferson and Jamar Chase's little brother.
Yeah.
But when he got his time and his flashes, he definitely made his time shine. And this season, when he really didn't have a set starting quarterback and there was a lot of questions going into his season and a lot of his team opted out and transferred out and everything like that, and there's a whole bunch of bullshit going on at LSU, he had a really good season, and he balled the fuck out. Scored a lot of touchdowns, had a lot of productive games, and won LSU a lot of games, in my opinion.
Yep.
And I don't know if he's your solidified number one receiver, number one franchise wide receiver like a Julio Jones or someone like along that line, but I definitely do see him being a productive wide receiver 2 or wide receiver 1, in my opinion.
Yep. And with the last pick in the draft, the Super Bowl champ Tampa Bay Buccaneers select Kwity Paye, edge rusher, Michigan.
Wow.
Who better to take than the guy with the great story for the last pick in the draft?
What is this, Make-A-Wish Foundation?
Basically. But, yeah, I just think that the Bucs need help on their D-line. I mean, they have a stellar D-line, but Jason Pierre-Paul is getting pretty old. He's a mid-tier player. They got, like, Ndamukong Suh, all old players. So, great pick. Great value at that pick.
Great value at that
for him falling that low. All right, that's it for our first round mock draft. I hope you liked it. If you don't agree, comment.
Fuck
tell
off.
us what basically, because we're not going to care.
We're
I don't
right.
care what you have to say. We already know what's going to happen. It's just how it is. We're wearing suits. What the fuck are you wearing, right? I got shorts on, slides, and a fucking suit on top with my Eagles hat. No socks. That's right. Oh, we're getting naked.
Are we?